Whether you watch an Open Championship at home on the television or if you make your way to an Open Championship venue, you can't help but admire the beauty of the golf course. But it's not all about the golf course. It's also about the natural environment surrounding, in this case, Royal Troon.
The golf course has been carved out of our natural landscape, and we're very much trying to maintain it in harmony with what is naturally here. One of the great things about our UK and Irish links is the diversity of species, not only grass and wildflowers through the rough, but also what additional wildlife that promotes, from birds to butterflies to insects, invertebrates, everything. And it's all very much trying to make sure that this tournament is played within a wonderful natural environment. There's two parts of it. We're talking about green maintenance, we're talking about the maintenance of the inside the ropes, the playing surfaces, but our remit extends to the wider environment and ecological management of the golf course too. So that's promoting biodiversity, ensuring this great golf course fits in harmony with the surrounding landscape. Morning and afternoon, we take measurements of green speed, surface firmness, so how the ball's interacting with the turf, smoothness and trueness, so how the ball's rolling across the surface, and soil moisture content. That information goes back to the R&A and Billy McLaughlin, the course manager. We collectively decide that the maintenance that is going to be implemented in response to the weather forecast to determine what we're going to do this evening and what we're going to do tomorrow to set the course up for play. The bunkers that you see here today are pretty much what the members will be playing week in, week out, with the exception of some sand has been removed. The cutting height on the greens, the cutting height on the tees, barring 1 or 2 millimetres difference, it's the setup that you're seeing here is consistent with what you would be seeing on a day, on any sort of day at Royal Troon. The difference is the frequency of the maintenance that is being carried out.
What are you testing here? It looks like you're dropping something down onto the green.
That's correct. This measures surface firmness. It's the Clegg impact hammer, so it's giving us a measure of how the ball is interacting with the surface. So we're looking to create a firm surface that remains receptive to a well-struck golf shot, but releases poorly struck shots or those taken from the rough. It's effectively replicating the impact force of, say, a 7-iron. So this is the stimp meter, and this is measuring green speed. And we do this on every green in the morning and a selection of indicator greens in the afternoon. And we measure how far it goes in one way, how far it goes in the other way, and we effectively take the average. What we want to make sure is the surfaces are challenging, but also we don't want to get speeds that are too fast, so potentially balls could blow if the wind's strong enough. This is the STRI trueness meter. So this is the only device in the world that measures how the ball rolls across the surface. The R&A helped us fund the development of the unit, and we use it during all our routine agronomy visits across the UK, Ireland, Northern Europe and now Australia. We have a little metal wheel here that sits on the surface in exactly the same way that a golf ball would do, and as we push it across the surface at a given speed, at which a 10-foot putt in its last 3 foot travels, it moves up and down and side to side, and it gives us a number in millimetres per metre of smoothness and also trueness. So we can see how that put a number on the ball roll quality. This is the Pogo soil moisture meter, and this gives us a measure of how much moisture is in that upper soil profile.
Before we go and have a look further into the rough and to the borders of the course, is there a different grass from what we see here on the green to what we see in the rough?
Generally the same. We've got the greens here at Royal Troon are dominated by brown top bent grass with small populations of annual meadowgrass and some fine fescue. As we move out into the approaches and fairways, the amount of fescue becomes greater, and it really is the fairways and the approaches are dominated by fine fescue, which gives us this fine, crisp lie, ideal for accurate ball striking.
And what about the rough itself? Is that just purely left to the elements and left to grow in any manner it wants to?
It's in essence, yes, but there is sort of management intervention at certain times. So we're trying to sort of mimic the effect of grazing, whether by sheep or by rabbit, which would have been how links courses were sort of pretty much maintained back in the day.
Shall we take a look?
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
This is where I usually look for my ball, Richard, in the rough.
Well, one of the great things about links rough is the diversity of different species, different grass species, and different a diverse range of different wildflowers through here, giving us great texture, as you can see through these grasslands, different heights, different colours, different densities. And as we move through, you can see things like some crested hairgrass through here, some sweet vernal grass, which is a particularly pretty grass and great for golfing rough because it never becomes too thick and dense. Easy to find our golf ball, but you know the seed heads wrap themselves around the golf club, therefore sort of losing control of the ball when playing into firm greens. So here we have some bent grass. It has a very small seed head. It's one of the later flowers in the rough. So coming into flower around the Open Championship time. These grasses that are in the rough are the same as what's in the greens themselves. The kidney vetch, and there's a bee obviously feeding on its flower, and this particular plant is the main food source for the small blue butterfly, which a fantastic project here across the Ayrshire coast, where we're trying to reintroduce the kidney vetch into all the golf courses and areas of sort of car parking or even gardens, to reinstate the small blue butterfly that has become extinct from this part of the coast. We want to leave the Royal Troon on Sunday in a better place, and the reinstatement is trying to improve the natural habitat, the open creates opportunities for wildlife and habitat creation, and that's very much part of what we do on behalf of the RNA.
Well, Richard, every Open Championship venue that I've been to has left a lasting impression on me, and you're lucky enough to work in these beautiful places every day. And yes, it's about work, but it's about enjoyment for you as well, and leaving perhaps a legacy.
That's absolutely right. I am very lucky. It's a fantastic job working in such a natural environment with a team of passionate and talented greenkeepers who are maintaining the golf course to an excellent standard. We'll see what the weather brings, and let's hopefully we'll have a good few days over the championship and identify the champion golfer of the year on a wonderfully natural, well-maintained links course.